Good evening. Hello, it's me, Annalisa, with my spiritual friend. I am back. It's Sunday, I don't even know what day it is, God. Um, as always, I am not a doctor, a lawyer, a therapist, or a financial advisor. If you need one of those, please seek those. I might cut it a little bit short tonight on when I let questions in because I just heard my daughter yelling, and sometimes she won't go down without me. And as Danny says, and I don't want her going to bed at like whatever o'clock and 10 o'clock tonight. Don't forget to subscribe and like. So if you can, I've liked videos on people's live things before. So when you guys say you can't, I'm not sure I understand that, but whatever. Hi, Danielle. Yes, no questions before, because I won't answer them because then it just makes it too much for when I start. G. I do feel like it's a good choice for your husband's job, but I almost feel like it's also temporary. So I don't know if they end up like if it's like temp to hire or if it's like a probationary period or if they move him up quicker. But it feels like for whatever it does, I don't feel like he gets fired. It just feels like either or another job comes in and gets another job offer soon, but it doesn't feel like it's a long lasting job. And sorry for any lisping. And anything for you? I do, but I feel like it's still like they're showing me 6. So I feel like it's 6 weeks, not 6 months out yet. Hi, Miriam. Muhammad's feelings. Do you know if he has anxiety? Because I just feel very nervous when I think about that. Scrolled. Ooh. You're not sure. Seems pretty composed. It doesn't feel like anxiety, not like all over the place anxiety. Just did you guys see that thing like kind of go across? Wait, I'm trying to show you. Okay, go across like that up here. I don't know if maybe it was a piece of dust or what, but I saw a little white flash. I feel like he's in his head a lot. I got to be honest with you. And the anxiety doesn't feel like somebody who's like all like crazy anxiety, but it feels inside like he has anxiety. So, oh, you guys saw that. Yeah. Oh, did you see another one? There was just another one. All right. So little Orbeez away. Show us your stuff. There was another one that went like behind me like that. I am doing well. Okay. All right. So I'm not getting a strong feeling on how he feels about you. I feel like whatever it is, there's nervousness and anxiety around it. Gosh, I wonder who is visiting me tonight. The orbs made me very excited. I don't see those a lot. Dirty Icon Tarot. Just a second. Okay. Let's see who's next. I am good, by the way. Some people have asked, how am I doing? I'm good. I do want to like mention, I feel really terrible about Kobe Bryant passing, and not so much about him passing, because honestly, I have no connection I'm not a sports person or anything. He's like a month younger than I am. So I actually feel the first thought I had when I heard that was, I hope his wife wasn't with him, because I thought they have a whole bunch of little kids. And then I heard she wasn't. I thought, oh, that's good. But then, not good, but at least they'd have one parent. And then I just that his daughter was with him, and there was other parents and children on there. So my heart absolutely goes out to the family members that are left behind, and just having to figure out how to continue to move on through that kind of a tragedy. So it's not so much that I'm like, oh, like I said, poor Kobe Bryant. Um, I just feel terrible for his family and that's left here. Because we know that when we cross over, we're okay. At least I know we are. I hope you guys know that. Okay, Danielle. Sorry. Oh, wait, someone said something about 21. Okay. Pinky Lee, what's next for you in 2020? I heard hurry, get moving. So it's not necessarily what's next for you, but it feels like you need to like pick up the pace and start moving towards your goals. It's like you're not doing what you need to do to get, it's like you're waiting for everything to just drop in your lap. And it's sort of the feeling like that you actually need to go and put forth the effort. I don't know if I feel like I'm filling out applications, but it doesn't feel like it's for jobs. It actually feels like for school. So I don't know if that's what you're doing, but it feels like you need to get on that and do that. Danielle, I rented a trailer before they fixed it up and it's in bad shape. Do you think she's going to fix it up nice? She said she would. I feel like you'll have to kind of be on top of her about it and like remind her. I feel like she'll do it, but it just feels like, I even feel like it might be something like where you fix it up, but like take it off the rent as a way of like getting it to be expedited. Cause it feels like she wants to do it, but she's like sort of can't handle too many things at once. So it'll get done, but I feel like it might be under some circumstance like that where you offer like, hey, I'll do this if you'll take the money off my rent kind of thing. And I've done that with landlords before. So that's why it seems like something kind of normal. Like where I just Cherry, will you get Sherry, sorry. Will you get the programmer job? I heard yes, but I don't know it's that it's this one, but it's like the second one you apply for. Katie Ray. Okay, that's a good question. What are some, oh wait, sorry. Rosewater, I don't want to miss you. Okay. Is it weird that I'm hoping to see more orbs? Okay. So I keep seeing a cat, but it feels like more like when you think of a witch with her little avatar, her little cat friend, it just feels like needing to tap into that side of yourself more and really like own that power and that mystical side of you. Instead of like keeping it in the shadows or like stop hiding it in the shadows. Like it just feels like really owning who you are. When you tell people, say it with pride. Like, this is who I am. This is what I do. I feel like that's really important. So I just go through the dirty icon. I just go through the questions, and whoever asks a question first, I just go through the list and I just answer the questions that way. All right. Yeah, you're not supposed to be. You're supposed to start owning it, and you'll start finding that your world will open up in a really beautiful way. Because they're showing me like a rose blooming, haha, rose water. But that it'll open up in a really beautiful way once you start becoming more comfortable with who you are and just sharing yourself. All right, now Katie Ray. What do you need to work on for yourself? Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out. They keep showing me wheels spinning, so I'm just looking for clarity. So when you're sitting here and going, "This is really interesting," I'm staring at a woman who looks confused. Um, okay, so I'm like, "What?" And then they're showing me plates. You know when they balance plates and they spin them, and then they've got like 15 different plates. So it feels like actually the feeling to me is that you it's almost like you keep yourself so busy and things, and I don't see the plates falling or anything, but it's like I keep myself so busy that I don't actually have to look at myself. I don't actually have to find because I'm so busy. I don't have time to really like actually row. And so it's a really brilliant question that you're asking because when you don't slow down enough to do that, it seems like, well, I don't understand. Like what you have to actually take the time to be quiet and still. Don't be afraid to just sit in a room without the TV on, without the music on, without anything on, and just sit for a few minutes. Because I actually feel like you are pretty intuitive and that the information will come to you. And they said, don't be afraid that it's going to look terrible when you look into yourself. And I feel like this is a reminder for everybody. So just remember this, that we did not come here to be grown and perfect and wonderful from day one. We came here to learn and to grow throughout our journey. We do not expect our children to walk into kindergarten having the knowledge of a senior in high school. We expect them to not know anything and to learn along the way. So you can't have that pressure on yourself, like where you constantly look back and go, well, why didn't I say it this way? Why didn't I do better? Well, because we came in pretty raw, and then we get these belief systems that are usually pretty screwy because we all come from dysfunction. There's not one of us that comes from a healthy, functional family. It just doesn't exist. And if some are healthier and more functional than others, but perfection does not exist. And even perfection is not like a state of being. It's something you move in and out of, by the way. But it feels like, you're very hard on yourself about not having been this molded, perfect, totally wise human being, and we're not gonna be. So just sit in the beauty of your imperfection and love yourself. And part of loving yourself is having empathy that, like, I didn't do it right, and that's okay. I did it with the best way I could at the time. And some people say reimagine it, and I say, why reimagine it? It was what it was, and learn from it and grow from it, and that's okay. That's what I got from that, Miss Katie Ray. Danny. This is going to sound really interesting. Danny, I know this sounds silly, but I feel like you need fluid. I feel like you don't, like, you drink enough-ish, but it feels like needing to drink a lot more than you think that you're drinking, and that might really help with it. That's like the main thing I'm getting. And it's not because if you don't appear super, super dehydrated, that they're not sort of picking up on it. I could be totally wrong, but that's the first thing that I got was dehydration. And not like crazy, scary, clinically dehydrated, but oh, thank you for the confirmation, Mystic Dreamer. I got a really cool confirmation from somebody through email. And this was a while ago. I said that this little a dog that looked like an Australian Shepherd would be coming into their life. And oh, thank you. I got it today, y'all. I'm going to tell you what. Gap has all their stuff on clearance, plus it's an additional 50% off. So I got this for $7. I'm all about sharing steals. Um, so yeah. You're welcome, Danny. And also, I kind of have a big head, and I love that, and I have a lot of hair, that the hood is like, it works. Like, it covers my head. Gap. I got it at Gap. So, okay, so, all right. That's not Danny. I don't even remember what my answer was for you. Oh yeah. So I always love getting, like, when people tell me confirmations, because you know, when I'm giving you the information, I'm like, I'm just going to share. I have no proof. That's what intuition is. Oh yeah. Okay. The thing. Sherry, hi. Okay. Sherry, I'm just gonna hold on. I'm not gonna put your name. I'm not gonna just fully respond yet. I keep seeing. So this is the image I got of a gentleman. T-shirt and jeans, and a little bit of a belly. And he's got his hands in his pockets, and he's kind of rocking back and forth, like, not saying much, but almost like, did he have red cheeks? Or I don't know, because it's almost like this, kind of, pardon my language, but I heard shit-eating grin, but it's not like total shit-eating grin. It's like just kind of this little cheeky smile he has, and just like graying hair. I don't know if this describes him, but this is the gentleman I'm seeing. Talk to me and tell me if this makes any sense. You're not too late, Shannon. I am gonna no shining out light. You did not get skipped. Right. Shining out light, but I felt, and I'm not gonna, because I will not, I didn't feel the electrolyte thing as an issue, and I'm not gonna say that, because also if you have your electrolytes get thrown off, that can change your heart and everything else. So I'm just gonna say I felt dehydration. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say, because that's what I felt, and that's what I'm led to, and I cannot validate what you're getting. Hi, Dead Mirror. Sherry, can you validate any of that? He was graying. Okay. Does that make sense for him to wear, like, it literally was like a navy blue t-shirt, a little bit worn in the color, and jeans, and kind of saggy around his, I don't know why, it feels like belly, but kind of saggy around the butt pants jeans. I don't know. And he's just sitting there, like, he doesn't, it's not the feeling of I have a lot to say. It's just that my silly personality is here and I'm around. Do you have a cat? And I asked because this sounds really weird, but he's like laughing, and it's like I saw when you gave the cat a bath, and I don't know if that makes any sense. It's a Gap sweatshirt, so whatever you think of the quality of the Gap, it's not like, I think it's fine, but some people are more picky than I am. Sherry, is there anything about giving a cat a bath? Was there a joke you had about this? Your dog. But did something really weird happen with it? Because he's dying laughing about it. It's just like a mess everywhere. And is it like it's not a normal bath. It's like there's water everywhere. It's like maybe the dog was jumping in and out of the tub. I don't know what it is, but it's like seems like a struggle. Maybe that's why I went to a cat is giving a cat a bath because, like, when you're trying to bathe a cat, like, I haven't, but I hear people have. My cats clean themselves when I had them growing up, but, you know, I'm actually gonna close the questions out in just a couple minutes, so if you have one, hurry up and get it in because I don't wanna be here late because my daughter is up and my husband really needs to go to sleep tonight, and she won't go to sleep when she's like this without me. Okay, I'm gonna keep moving, Sherry, because I can't sometimes when you guys want the mediumship stuff, sometimes it's really hard because there needs to be, and it's not your fault that there's a delay, but it's a little bit harder. Sometimes it's not as quick as me just answering a question. I really do encourage you that if you really want to connect with someone personally, and it's always easier as a private reading. And I know you can't always afford it, but I'm just saying that it's easier for me to sit with it for a little bit. And I can't always do that on here for the sake of time and everybody else. Um, Shining out light. I feel like I answered this last time, or did you ask it at the very end about will you ever get your inheritance? You'll get it. I feel like though something has to come out of it in order to pay for something. So I don't know if it's paying for an attorney or paying taxes or whatever it is, but it feels like maybe not as much as you were hoping, but you're going to get it. It's either like, so I know this sounds weird, but they're telling me March, April, May. So it may be that you get the notification at the end of March, you get partial payment in April, or how much it's going to be. And then once some fee has been paid, you actually get the payout in May. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's like something about March, April, May. And it feels like of this year. Oh, Dirty Icon, guess what? It's called free on Sundays for a reason. So for 30 minutes, I allow you guys to ask questions, although tonight I'm going to cut it in just a minute. And then if you want a full reading, a private reading, I do those. But this is sort of my gift to the universe. I just trust that whatever I do, whenever I give, I don't do it with expectation to get anything. I trust the universe always provides for me in return. I know that not everybody can afford a private reading from me. And I like to think I'm good at this. I'm apparently not very good at the political reading stuff, but I'm good at this stuff. And not always right. Can't be 100% right. But yeah, the political reading, I think I'm feeling too much of their personalities and what I feel like energetically I vibe with. I don't know. There's some stuff I pick up and some I don't about that. And I really hate reading into a lot of the energies. Pignetia Rodriguez. I don't need her birth date. Okay, I just hear this woman going, and it's also like, but she's like, she's got attitude, and it's super funny. Like she's tripping. She's, I ain't got time for this. Like it's always like she's just got a lot of heat and fire, and she would talk a big game. Is a feeling I get talk a big game, but have like, but really be a sweetheart and really would just do anything for you, but just could have attitude along the way. I don't know if this makes sense, but that's who I'm hearing. That's the feeling I get about her. Again, remember with mediumship, when I'm here doing this, I can't always give you, I know a lot of you may want a full reading and a full message from them, but that takes a lot of time. And I don't have that kind of time to do that for everybody. So I can give you just bits and pieces. And I try to, so I can just keep moving along. If you want a private reading, it's right now my rates are 100 for a half hour, 175 for an hour. And those are always, especially if you're wanting to do mediumship, that's always the best way to go. Erica. Yes, romance for you in 2020, but not until August. Just feels like duds until then. Music for the vibe. Yes, you will get the test results you need to pass. It may just be just squeaking by. Like, I don't know if there's like, it's like a couple different sections. I feel like one section might just be squeaking by, but it's sort of like that idea of like C's get degrees. It's like terrible, but like it's that feeling of like it's enough to get you there, so you'll be okay. Just on, I feel like I'm just on one part, so I don't know if it's like 3 parts and you need to just do one. Hi, Breezy. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. I'm not feeling anybody right now, but just give me a little bit. If he comes through, I'll let you know. Wait, did you get a new house? You moved in? Did you get it, Mallory? Did you actually open a bottle of champagne? And because I like hear it and like hitting the ceiling, and almost like laughing that it, I don't know if it like made a mark or. Congratulations. I feel like you're going to get more time with the kids. I feel like she's going to need more help and you're going to get more time with the kids. No champagne or something. Did you pop something and have it like hit? Because it feels like I heard a pop and then I see it hitting the ceiling. No more questions for tonight, okay? He's there. I don't know why, but that's what he's showing me. So I don't know what that means. Maybe you'll find like a little ding in the ceiling or something, or maybe, I don't know, maybe something, this is something that's coming. Oh my God, you guys piled on early tonight. Hey, Jean. 2020 career-wise. I just keep hearing, so this isn't about your career, I don't think, but I keep hearing it's a bust and like laughing like at a joke that it just didn't work out. And I don't know why they keep saying this. I don't know if you're trying to get a project off the ground, and it's that feeling of, because they just said like you're working too hard to get it. Like you're working harder than you have to in order to make this happen. Are you working on a project or working on something? It's like putting too much effort forth instead of just like letting it go and trusting that it's coming to you. It's sort of like you're making everything harder than it needs to be. I don't know if makes any sense. You have to get everything right so it makes you anxious. You're welcome, music for the vibe. Is that supposed to be orthopedics office? But I feel like it's something on the side that you're doing personally. It feels like more of an entrepreneurial thing. Is there something that you're trying to work on the side? Because it feels like whatever that is, Oh, and orthopedics. Try typing again. You're trying to open. It just feels like everything you're working too hard instead of just like letting it come to you is sort of the feeling I get. Like, stop working so hard and just give it up to the universe. It's called faith. What's this guy's name? Joseph A-L-A-I or A-L-E-I. He's on YouTube and he's got all these videos, and it's the Goddard is the last name, Nathaniel Goddard, maybe. He follows his like sort of way of doing things. It's worth looking at those if you believe in manifestation and stuff. But it just feels like there's something like stop working so hard and like it'll all fall together is the feeling I get. And something about March for you on that. Holy Christ. Okay. Oh my God, y'all. Okay. I'm only 2 minutes in and I've been here for 30 minutes already. I'm going to have to do this differently. I might have to end some of these early just because I'm so far in and if my daughter's awake, I gotta go get her down. Otherwise tomorrow will be a beast for me. Any messages from your guides on regarding your love life? Sonia Rain. Keep your chin up. Stop getting disappointed. It's a feeling of like if one doesn't work out, then you just feel like so devastated. And they're like, a new bus comes every 5 minutes. It's like it stops for you every 5 minutes. So just stop feeling like it's something you're doing wrong or you're not good enough or you're not worthy or deserving. They're like, this is just sort of part of the process of finding the right vibrational match. It's not always about having the thing drop in your lap. Like, we didn't come to earth to have everything be easy. You grow through learning, and you learn through having rough spots and patches in life. So just hang in there and stop getting so down on yourself. Dirty icon. Okay, hang on, you said it again. Bonita. April of this year. I feel like May is sort of going to be where it starts. It doesn't mean it's a full-blown relationship, but it feels like it'll start in May. Tarinka. Okay. Nicole. I heard speak your truth and relax, Nicole. It just sort of feels like stop trying to make everything happen and just relax and go with the flow a little bit more. Big Nisha, I'm not hearing anything about your boyfriend. Elizabeth Lynn. I know you say you want to get it, but I actually feel like it's not going to go through. And I don't know if it's something's going to make you change your mind, or you're going to find that the doctor's going to say you don't need it, but it just feels like not going through then. So it may be later, at a later time, but maybe not then. Alessandra. I feel like no and no for you and Marion. I don't feel like you will reconcile, and I don't feel like he has feelings for you. I actually feel like he's dating somebody else or with somebody else. Danielle, I don't know that Tom knows that it's so interesting to me. I feel like it's almost like you're afraid to flirt with him in order for him to know you're interested, in order for him to know to be interested in you. So it's sort of is that feeling of like, put yourself out there a little bit, because I don't think he's interested in you, but it's like not on you. He's like, you're not on the radar because he doesn't, I don't know, like doesn't think you're interested. I don't know how to explain it. Sandra, I feel like you will be going to Pennsylvania in June with John. Okay, 8:34. Hang on, I just want to see something. Ronnie, I get to everybody that I get to. If you wrote it before I cut off questions, okay? It just takes time. When it's free, lots of people want it. And so you have to be patient and stay here. It's like if I invite you for dinner and say it's not quite ready yet, please be patient. Okie doke. Sounds good, Breezy. Okay. Blue Storm. Any tips for you in the coming weeks? Work, finances are important / tough right now. I feel like I already said that it would be maybe in the beginning of the year. Did I not? I feel like it's going to be tight through February into early March, and then it's okay. It just feels like it doesn't feel like it's that feeling of, sorry, don't be frivolous with money, be frugal and you'll be okay, but it does feel stretched thin, but you'll be okay. There's a learning lesson in it, and it's a feeling of like needing to be very good in working within the constraints of a budget, because it's going to help you at some point later, but more for running like a business type thing rather than personal finances. Like understanding money flow and, I mean, not that you don't understand money flow, but it's sort of the feeling. Roxanne, I'm not feeling any people coming through. Sometimes they don't come through because there's other stuff that needs to come through that's more important. Sometimes they don't come through because even if you miss them, you're okay with their passing. There isn't, like even when I do private readings, sometimes the people you want to come through aren't the first ones to step through. It's the ones that either need to pass the message on either to you or through you, or to help you grow, or to help somebody else grow, like say grandma for mom, and you have to pass the message along to mom, something like that. But and sometimes they don't come through because you're okay with their passing, and so there's no healing that needs to be done there. I'm not feeling anybody step through, Roxanne, for you right now. Doesn't mean it won't happen, but if you're really looking for a mediumship reading, the best way to get through to somebody is when you have me for full time to just sit with you. It's harder to do in this sort of setting. Doesn't mean I can't, but it does. I also sort of just go, well, if they're not here, I'm not going to work super hard to try and bug them and get them to come through in that sense, because I just don't have the time to sit with them. Hi, Boo. Wait, you're a tarot reader. Oh, I don't do tarot. You're in distress. Could you please do a quick relationship reading for what you need to do because you're lost? They say you need to stop accepting garbage behavior, and stop allowing that, because it's that feeling. They said once you set your boundaries, you'll be much happier. So I feel like there's not really good boundaries in the relationship. And they're making me feel like it's very codependent, and you would be the enabler. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's the feeling I'm getting. I'm sorry. Some of you, I didn't type your name. I apologize. How can you connect with your spirit guides, Julie? Meditate. Go on YouTube and look for meditation, guided meditation to connect with spirit guides. I know I keep saying I'm going to make one. I'm going to get to it. It's just somehow life has been very, very busy. And I always trust there's a reason the universe isn't allowing time for it. So I don't know. Maybe there's something I'm supposed to learn before I do one, so that I can give you the best experience. I'm not sure. But if you do that, I highly recommend doing a, guided meditation to meet your spirit guides, or set the intention to do it as you in your sleep, to fall asleep, and have the dream about your spirit guides and to easily remember that experience. That's another way I do stuff too. Darinka, I don't feel like Milos will, but I feel like somebody new is coming in end of March, beginning of April. But I don't know that that's the one per se, as like people like to say, but it feels like it will give you enough to like move your attention into a better space to stop worrying about someone who doesn't value you as much as you deserve. AP, what will your trip be like this week? I heard busy, hectic, chaotic, but good. So whatever that means, that's what I heard very clearly. Lemon Zest. That's a fun name. I like Lemon Zest. It feels, so you asked what's coming up in your love life. It feels stale for a while until yours feels very, very quiet until the very end of the year. And then it's like sort of perks up a little bit. And it feels like more active next year. So November, I feel like something more significant. But it feels like almost like I want this, but then not being able having the time to focus on it for whatever reason. It just doesn't like where you're not putting it so much at the forefront. I mean, like I'm talking to people, but it's like there's not someone. I've either got a lot going on with work, like say I'm doing dating apps or whatever, right? So I'm messaging people or talking to people, however that works on apps, because I didn't do it when it was. I mean, I met my husband on Match, believe it or not, but before there were apps and stuff. So it just feels like I'm sort of talking to people, but I'm not like able to give like 100% to it for whatever reason. Lady Di, I do believe you'll be offered the job. I feel like you'll hear about it on Tuesday, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. Hey, what field career-wise would be good for you? This is interesting. I saw soccer and I heard sports management. So I don't know I don't know why, because even when I'm saying, I'm like, that seems weird. Because it doesn't quite fit. Does that make sense to you at all? Barton, I'm not taking any new questions tonight. I'm just catching up where I left off, or catching up to get through the night. And then I'll be back next Sunday, same time, I believe, unless something comes up, and do this again. And you can ask them then, hit the subscribe button and the bell, and you'll know when I'm going to go live, because I always try and send a little warning. You're welcome. Hey, can you give me an answer on that? Sock Monkey, thank you for the compliment, by the way. You look glowy. I've been trying to drink so much water. Maybe that's it. I just feel extra parched and dehydrated myself. So, I'm sorry, Pinky. Can we all send a little love and energy to Pinky Lee tonight? I imagine the light like wrapping around you like a little warm, cozy blanket. Let's see what. Hey, if you went off, man. All right, well, to that. See you next week, EQ. Hi, Rochelle. Rochelle, you're late, man. I'm not taking any new ones. Okay, so I'm back to 8:37. Let's see. All right, moving on. I waited long enough. Hey, I waited long enough. Princess Nye, am I far from meeting my future spouse? Or Hannah, I just want to make sure I'm. Or can I please get your insight into this? Not far, but it feels a few years out yet. And it feels like you have time for growth. But it also feels like sort of everything needing to line up so it's the best outcome possible and for the best like connection, learning experience for both of you. But it still feels a few years out yet, like honestly 2 to 3 years out. Nerd realist, anything for you? Nerd realness. It's weird because I hear everything and they're like everything's coming through jumbled, but I feel like it's metaphorical for you. Like it's sort of like needing to take the time to sort of like organize everything, settle it up, make sure it's all crystal clear, neat, and then it all makes sense. It's like needing to make sure you go through and dot all of your I's and cross your T's. So I don't know if you have a presentation or something going on, but it feels like it's really important right now that you go over everything thoroughly so that you don't miss something that would like something really small that would create a bigger issue. I don't know what that means, but that's what they're telling me right now is very important for you. So I don't know if it's you're a programmer and there's something that needs to be fixed like that, or if you write contracts and there's something just even like one small word, if you don't do this or don't put a comma, it creates a whole other issue. It's like something very small. So it's make sure you take the time to comb through and that you're translating or clarifying everything the correct way. Hackaday, will your neighbor ever leave you alone with the noise making? So it feels like no, but it's almost like enjoying annoying you, like they know that they annoy you, and it's sort of like their vindictive personality. So it's sort of like the minute you become immune to them, it stops. So again, that guy Joseph, it's like ALAI here on YouTube. You go and watch him, it talks about manifesting. And when you're asking somebody else to do something, it's not so much about making them stop. it's about asking the universe or envisioning or declaring or intending that you are no longer bothered by them. Their behavior no longer, or they no longer notice your behavior or whatever it is that's actually going on. Like just that you're also no longer, you no longer are irritated by who they are and all, whatever it is. And then it's sort of all like calms down and stops, but it's sort of like shifting your perspective and instead of being hyper focused on it, because it sort of makes it creates more of it. I feel like I might have skipped somebody doing that. I don't know. Oh, I did. Okay, sorry. Mystic Dreamer said, oh, no, realize I did. Mystic Dreamer said, I just wanted to tell you something you did. Something did change in your life second week of January. Beautiful. Thank you for the validation. Carrie Simpson, what is Brian's current feelings for you? I literally heard, I feel like Brian has his eye on a lot of people at once. So that's the feeling I get. Nicole, will your brother have communication with your mother about what's going on with him? I heard not anytime soon. It's that feeling of, whether it's real or not, it's the feeling of perceived judgment, being judged, being scolded, being told what to do, again, not doing it right. Oh, you messed up again kind of feeling. And it's sort of like, it's like, just trying to handle it so he is seen as mature and responsible or whatever, but it's not the best way, but it feels like down the road he'll talk about it. Down the road he'll feel safer talking about it, and he'll feel more confident that it'll be okay. Oh, and that was Hackaday with so Hackaday, I didn't write your name, but I already answered your question. So I'm putting your name in. So if for some reason you want to come back, you can find it where I talked about it roughly. Shivari, I'm not taking any new questions today. So if you come back, I will answer more questions next week, same time, for free. I do not answer questions outside of here for free. So even if you comment and ask a question, say, please, 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 my answer is no, simply because I have to set some very healthy boundaries. Sorry, I'm just trying to find where I was. Okay, I know I was around here. Okay. Nicole Plant, I just answered. Okay. Shadows, Hackaday. Okay, there we go. Okay, Chucky. Of course, I think of that crazy little doll. Your guardian angels or your guides, what do they have a message for you? All I hear is speak your truth and speak clearly. It doesn't feel like I need to make up a whole bunch of excuses. It feels like being very concise, being very neat, but not giving too much detail, because that's not necessary. You don't owe everybody an explanation. It's just no, I can't, X, Y, and Z, but be honest. Be honest and truthful about it. That feels really important. So it feels like maybe wanting to lean towards deception by omission, or wanting to lean towards fluffing things a bit because you don't want to disappoint others. It doesn't feel like it's out of, maliciousness. It just feels like not wanting to disappoint others and being a people pleaser. And they're sort of saying, like, learn to speak your truth and do it clearly and own it. It's okay. And thank you, Dirty Icon. I appreciate the compliment. Isha, messages you need to learn about your love life. It actually feels like, Isha, just be confident in who you are. Know who you are, learn who you are, and own who you are, and don't apologize for it. That really feels very important. Don't apologize for who you are. Butterfly, what psychic abilities do you have? I heard clairvoyant, and I actually feel like, I don't know if you've been having headaches lately, but it just feels like part of that is your third eye opening up. Dirty Icon, I guess you said goodbye, but I didn't see the question. Did anybody see it? Oh, wow. Maybe she'll come back. Okay, Robbie, I'm going to just stick with your partner thing, not your current job, because that seems more important. It feels like, again, setting healthy boundaries. Look into what codependency is. Look into codependent behaviors. It feels like that you enable a lot of the negative stuff. And it's like, it's that feeling of, well, I don't want to put my foot down because they'll leave, or I don't want to, and it's like, you sort of have to put your foot down and be done with it. I'm not saying it's easy. It is definitely hard when you're setting boundaries, but it feels like that's really, really the most important. I did hear the job is coming. So I don't know if there's a new job coming or lateral move or just slightly above it move, but it feels like it's coming is the feeling I get. Shannon Lane, any messages for you? Are you moving or are you changing jobs? Because I heard say it ain't so. Like, it's almost like, why are you leaving or something like that? We're sad to see you leave or something like that. Not saying you're going to die, so don't get all crazy on that. It just feels like, I don't know if you're changing a job, like that feeling of when your coworkers are sad to see you leave. Is that something new coming up for you? I'm going to keep moving and I'll check down for your response in a minute, just because I really want to get through these. I'm at 8:42. Goodness. Okay, here. There's Isha. There's Robbie. There's Shannon. Okay. Darlene, do you have any psychic abilities? You do. We all do. I feel clairvoyance, but I feel like a clairvoyance, but I also feel, and it feels more like dreams for you, but I also feel clairsentience, which is to feel. So being empathic and things like that, that's also part of that. me look for Shannon. Did you come through? No, ma'am. I have not worked in a while. I don't know if you're moving then. It just feels like leaving, moving on to a new direction or something. It's just that feeling. So this will make sense to you, Shannon. So if it's not or volunteering, but it's like something, doing something and leaving, and people, so I don't know if you're moving or what it is, because they're not showing me moving boxes, but it's that feeling of moving on, not from here, the planet Earth, just moving on. Danielle, I do them every Sunday, just so you know. Same time, every Sunday. Oh my goodness, my goodness. If you're still here, the hoodie is light purple, by the way. Hackaday. So whenever somebody goes, I feel like something bad's going to happen, whenever you sort of put your energy in that direction, then you sort of, it's almost like you're pulling that into your life. So here's the thing. Whenever I've gotten anything psychically that like one example in college, about probably about like 3 football field lengths before we hit underneath this bridge, I knew that our car was going to slide on some ice, but we would be okay. It wasn't a feeling of fear. It was a very common, like calm, matter-of-fact feeling, like, oh, that's going to happen. So usually when there's fear behind it, that's ego-based. So understand that you will most likely be okay. I can't guarantee anything, but I can say that most likely that's what's going on. And sort of shift your energy and look for the positive, because you sort of start, when you start feeling the bad or whatever, you either start noticing it and focusing on it, or it's like you're almost looking for it and the universe delivers. But that fear-based thing is very ego-oriented. Oh, pink purple hearts. I do feel like you will be moving in February. I think I answered this at the very end and then you were gone already because you talked about the paperwork coming through. So yes, I do feel like you will. It might be the very end of February, beginning of March, but it does feel like it's going to happen. Sherry, I don't know if you're still here, but ask if his mom had cats. If seeing like the cat being bathed and that's a validation for you. I don't know, but it's something about a cat getting bathed. Chucky, I already answered yours. Will your dog give birth ever, RN? I heard yes. And I'm seeing the number 6. So I don't know if that means in June or in 6 months. Or 6 puppies. But I do feel like it'll happen. Britt L, the throbbing headache. I think it's a couple things. I think it's stress. I think it's my sense is it's stress, dehydration, and also a bit of a virus. So, but as always, please go see a doctor for something that's lasting that long. If it's been throbbing, if you can't get it, go to urgent care. If they're closed, call your regular doctor, but go in and get seen, because if it's dehydration and they feel like that's this, they can give you a bolus of fluids and all of that stuff. Don't just sit on it just to make sure, but it doesn't feel like anything. It feels like a combination of stuff. Ronnie, I feel like, no, you won't be getting your ex back. That actually very rarely happens. I have to say, I've very rarely seen it as a psychic saying like, oh yes, you'll get back together. They're usually like, nope, that ship sailed. To get a private reading, sorry, I didn't see this earlier. Just email me at analisa@myspiritualfriend.com, ANALISA at myspiritualfriend.com, all one word. And let me know. It's $100 for a half hour. And that's as of today's date when this video is posted, just so if you're watching this back in the future for some reason, if my rates change. But as of today's date, it is $100 for a half hour, $175 for an hour. You can let me know what session you want. I can send you the PayPal link. I do request that you make payment prior to scheduling a reading, because then I don't have to chase you around for the money and hold time open for you that you aren't serious about having. Because that's happened to me. And these are all about energy. So I try and keep it all very clean and neat. Butterfly Goddess, I feel like you will reach your goal weight. So it feels like having a time frame of set of what it is, and they're said within 5 pounds, but you will reach your goal weight, just maybe a little bit longer than you're hoping for. And I feel like there's a little setback of either like a bit of an illness or whatever, where you can't work out, or you're just not feeling like you can really stick to the regimented thing, but then getting right back on track. And they're congratulating you for kind of really looking at taking care of yourself, because I don't feel like it's about vanity. I really feel like it's about wanting to be healthier. Let's see. Okay. Anne Holloman, will the finances be really good in the next month? Really good is relative. So I will see what I can tell you. I heard smooth sailing through April. So that to me means moving through very well. And that feels through April. And then it feels like maybe a bit of a dip at that point, but I feel like that might be normal. Like there's always like this period of just a little bit of a dip, and then moving on again by June, moving back into a better. So I don't know if there's a normal dip between April and May. Kanishka, any messages from your spirit guides? I don't know if you're typically somebody who always lets people know how it is, like it is, but I literally heard, and this is why I'm saying this, it doesn't make you a bad person. But what I heard is sort of like speak softer and speak quieter, because not everybody needs to know what you're thinking. It's not important for you to share your thoughts on everybody. That they said there is wisdom in holding your tongue, is the feeling I get. I don't know if that makes sense. It might make sense. Shannon, I feel like I answered yours. I don't know if you asked a second question or... Benita, I'm not taking any new questions tonight, okay? I'm just finishing up. I'm almost done here tonight. Yeah, Shannon Lane, I answered a question for you, so I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't want to answer too many questions for each person because then it becomes like such a giant time suck for me. And I do like doing this and I do want to offer time, but going to an hour and a half and everything else is getting to be a bit much. So, okay, I think we're done. If I missed you this week, if you're not here, I'm very sorry. You're very, very welcome. I'll put a link I do have a website. It's www.myspiritualfriend.com. I make everything really easy to remember. My YouTube thing is My Spiritual Friend. My Instagram is @myspiritualfriend. My Twitter is @myspiritualfrnd. You can always email me on Alisa@myspiritualfriend.com. Tyrell, I'm not taking any new readings tonight. Please like and subscribe and hit the bell so you'll know when I go live again next week. It's pretty much every Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If I'm not on at that time, there may be a family thing that kind of came up and I couldn't do it. So like and subscribe, all of that stuff, share with your friends. If you want a private reading, I'm happy to do those. Reach out to me and we'll set that up. I do request payments ahead of actual scheduling of the reading. I hope you guys have a lovely week. Be kind, send good things into the world. It will always come back to you. Do kind things for others without expectations of even a thank you. I promise, even if it doesn't come back from them, it will come back from somebody. Have a lovely week, everybody.